Morning Drive.
I've been talking about integrity. What kind of integrity is it when a team goes out there and takes a regular season game and just puts their scrubs out there?
Scrubs out there.
You know what a scrub is, Bagman?
Scrub is the guy that thinks he's fly, but is also known as a buster.
I don't want those scrubs.
Why not? TMD. We're talking about scrubs.
Hanging out the passenger side. Where's that going? I need to go.
Trying to collar a chew.
I don't want those scrubs.
There's a good chunk of people that don't want scrubs. Wow.
Hanging out the passenger side.
Trying to collar a chew.
Holla. Holla.
It's a mad special right there. 27 minutes before the top of the hour. We're back on the morning drive.
Holla.
Time for Wide Open Wednesday. Wide Open Wednesday, 866 Pit Lane, 866-748-5263. What's on your mind? What would you like to get off your chest? We'll give you 30 seconds on the clock as we'll take your calls. And await the arrival of Alan Gustafson at the top of the hour.
Yeah. Holla. 866 Pit Lane is the phone number, and this is the 32nd part of the week. Short, sweet, to the point.
That's 30 seconds, not 32nd as in 32 ND.
No. Thank you for the clarification on that, by the way.
Well, sometimes you need to clarify that.
Yeah.
By the way, what am I missing that hour?
Oh, my God. You missed you missed people giving us their nominations for the NASCAR Hall of Fame. And I said this, and I'll continue to say it. I know you agree with me. I think everybody makes a very strong case for how they feel. I might have a different point of view, but that doesn't mean my point of view is right. Doesn't mean their point of view is wrong. It's interesting. And I like this process every year because there are no set criteria. None. Somebody called and said they were a numbers guy, and the person that I said should go in for that person didn't have the numbers.
There is criteria of making the list, but there's no, you don't have to think of one thing. You can think of different kinds of things.
Right. You don't have to have so many years in the sport, so many races started, so many wins. None of that. That's not there. And if that's something that drives your decision, there's nothing wrong with that. But I think both of us in our five had cases for people who maybe didn't have numbers. There's those air quotes that I like to use on the radio, but made contributions. And both of us felt significant contributions. And the one that overlapped both of our lists was Benny Parsons. If you look up at racingreference.info, Benny Parsons' numbers, they're good, they're solid. He's a champion, but they don't blow you away. But think of everything that Benny Parsons did in this sport when he got out of that race car, and I defy you to tell me that he does not belong at some point in his career in the NASCAR Hall of Fame, Bagman. I'm with you 100% on that one.
Wide Open Wednesday, 866 Pit Lane. To the phones we go. Roy in Kentucky. Hello, Roy.
I'm fine. How are you gentlemen today?
Hey, Roy.
What's his name? The new kid that lost second place in the truck race the other night.
Eric Jones?
Eric Jones. I have a lot of respect for him, but I don't think he's ready to move up. I had a chance to watch TV, and I seen the fit that he threw, and it reminded me of a little kid, not a professional. Thank you.
All right. Let me address this, if I can, and I'd like to hear what you think about this. Was Eric Jones, cover your ears out there if you're taking the kids to school, pissed off? Absolutely he was. Did Eric Jones stomp off a little bit when he got out of the race truck? Sure he did. Did Eric Jones collect his thoughts and then address the media on TV and radio? You're damn right he did, and he did it very well. That's all I care about, Mike. That's all I care about. If he would have stomped off and not spoken at all, maybe I'd have a different view of it. But he did speak to the media. And, again, you can't have it both ways, folks. You can't call up our show and say these are the most vanilla drivers I've ever seen in my life, and there's no passion and emotion. And then the second somebody shows some of that passion and emotion, hang the kid out to dry. And, oh, by the way, a kid who's 18 years old. So I completely disagree with the caller.
Yeah, I agree with you. This thing of, I don't know. I mean, I understand that we want to hear from the driver after the race. If it's a compelling story or if there's something that happened, we want to know what took place. We go into this situation where I think we respond certain ways based on what we get and when we think we should get it versus when we actually get it. It's like drivers are humans. I understand this. I think that to some degree, the driver has the responsibility to talk, to let the fans know. But at the same time, I think that immediately when you get out of the car in the heat of battle is the time or place, depending on the person. And they're letting you know that based on them walking away and not talking to you. So I understand that you want to hear from the competitor. I want to hear from the competitor. Just because we don't get it at that precise moment, or we don't get it in a way that we feel we should get it, that we should chastise the driver for it. Does that make sense?
It makes sense, and I respect that. And I'm the guy that likes to hear from the person that had disappointment as well as success, but I totally respect a cooling off period. What I don't like about what happened with Eric Jones on Friday night, and again, I appreciate the caller picking up the phone and giving us a call, but I heard this a lot. Because of who he drives for in the Truck Series, and Kyle Busch is a guy who has a bit of a reputation of not wanting to express himself when he's disappointed with things, all of a sudden now it's, oh, well, look, Eric Jones is a little crybaby because of the same team owner he drives for and the same feel that driver has. See, that's not fair to me. It's not fair to Kyle Busch. I think that's a little too strong. And B, it's not fair to Eric Jones. He's 18. He's had 2 weeks in a row where he had the fastest truck on the racetrack, dominated the race, and didn't win, and lost by 0.006 thousand seconds or whatever it was. Third closest finish in series history. He can stomp off, but he came back. And that's the part that I'm going to continue to talk about. He came back, and he conveyed his feelings. And we all got the right stories about how he felt because he did address the media, Mike. And for an 18-year-old kid to show that kind of composure, I think that's phenomenal, and I think he's taken a bad rap from people who feel like because he got out of the car and showed emotion, he was being a poor sport. And I don't think that was the case whatsoever.
Would the reaction would have been different, you think, if he was driving for someone else?
I think so. That's my point. I think he's being aligned with his team owner who has a history of that kind of behavior at times. Which, again, I still don't think that's fair. Because I feel that way about Kyle Busch. If he doesn't feel like he wants to address the media after things don't go his way, that's his prerogative. But I do totally agree, yes, he's being unfairly judged, I think, because of who he drives for and the way he handled himself. Again, bottom line, folks, we heard from him in a pretty short period of time after he was able to cool off a little bit from what happened.